Today, guys, we are going to be ranking Michael Myers in every Halloween movie. This is basically just based on what my favourite portrayal is as such. So with these answers, I'm not alluding to the fact that these films are the best Halloween films by any means. I just mean that the portrayal of Michael that we got is like my favourite / least favourite. We're going to be starting with the least favourite and then working our way to the most favourite. But at number 12, I am going to go with Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. For me, the fact that we could basically see Michael's face the whole entire film just felt, it felt like this should be a Friday the 13th Jason movie. Like, it didn't feel like The Shape at all. It was very much so just like a masked killer that has a lot of aggression. Don't get me wrong, he was brutal in it, and in that sense, I do kind of enjoy Halloween 2. You know, it's nice to see a Michael that, you know, is actually, you know, messing people up, so I get that. But to me, it just isn't really The Shape or like Michael Myers. So for me, that's probably my least favourite portrayal. I'm going to be honest, for number 11, I struggled between two. I ended up putting the one I was struggling to choose from in number 10. So the next two, I wasn't really sure where to place them, for obviously the reasons I'm going to give. But coming in at number 11 is actually Halloween Resurrection. While again, Michael does have a couple of cool kills in this film, I find that the film definitely doesn't help the portrayal of him because of the situations he's in. The way he gets told by Busta Rhymes and the whole karate scene, I just feel like this Michael Myers gets shown up a lot. And for that reason, you know, it's definitely not one of my favourites. But coming after that in number 10 is Halloween Ends. And, you know, while this was played by, you know, my favourite Michael Myers actor, to be honest with you, James Drew Courtney, Halloween Ends was just such a bad film for Michael Myers. You know, he was basically just getting beat up the whole film. He was very weak, which, you know, I know is the storyline of it, but for that reason, even though it is James Drew Courtney, and in the previous two films, he was a pretty solid Michael Myers, I just can't give him a better ranking, to be honest with you. But yeah, between Halloween Ends and Halloween Resurrection, it is two that I struggle to kind of pick between. But yeah, that's what I'm going to go with now anyway. Coming in at number 9, we've got Halloween 5. My reasons for this are, I think the shape of Don Hanks just didn't quite suit Michael Myers as such, and alongside that mask, it just made for a very odd looking Michael. I wasn't really connecting too well with that one, if I'm honest, but I understand that, you know, he may be way higher in some people's rankings, but for me, it just was not one of my favourites. Coming in at number 8, I've got Halloween H2O. Halloween H2O is one of my favourite Halloween films, if I'm honest with you, but I think Michael Myers in that film definitely came across a little dumb at times, a little bit silly looking, the way he kind of gets up at times, but the mask situation definitely didn't help, so the exterior of Michael was kind of always changing and it didn't really add up. It was never consistent in the film. So yeah, there's not really too much of a terrible opinion on it and not a great opinion on it. It's just kind of sat there at the moment. At number 7, I've got Rob Zombie's Halloween, and I know it may be controversial to put this, you know, so much further than Rob Zombie's 2 when they are essentially the same one. But I feel like in Rob Zombie's first one, he at least kind of is more shape-like, if that makes any sense. I know it's kind of hard to say, and I completely understand people's reasons for disagreeing with this one, but for me, in that film, I did find that he was, you know, a little bit more stealthy at times. He stalked in this film, so they definitely were some pros of this one. But again, you know, it feels a lot like a Jason Voorhees to me. Intimidating guy that is very aggressive when he kills. But at number 6, I'm going to go with Halloween 6. I actually enjoy this version of Michael. To be honest with you, the list now, these are all Michaels that I very much enjoyed, so all of these, it's not bad to be them in terms of my list. Yeah, Halloween 6, I did really like Michael Myers. I thought he was very intimidating in it. A bigger figure again in George P. Wilbur, but I feel like it kind of works for this film. I know that's quite harsh on Halloween 5, but I don't mind the mask of Halloween 6 either, to be honest. I know it's a little bit different, it's more of like a thick mask. But yeah, I really didn't mind it, and I think this portrayal of Michael is definitely a scary one. I remember the first time I watched Halloween 6, it definitely always stood out to me as one of the ones where it's like, yeah, that Michael is one I do not want to run into. At number 5, we've got Halloween 4's Michael Myers. I think the Michael Myers that we got in Halloween 4 was a great one. I really enjoyed George P. Wilbur's performance in this film. I definitely think it's better than number 6 in my opinion. I know the mask isn't great in Halloween 4, but regardless of that, I just think it works. Halloween 4 really brings back that Halloween feel to me, and so that probably does allow Michael to shine in it. But Halloween 4, I think, you know, Michael's very creepy in it. At number 4, I'm going to be going with Halloween 2. Again, A very good performance of Michael Myers in my opinion. My only issues really with Halloween 2 ever have just been that at times I found him a little bit too slow and robotic, but that's something that as I think I've maybe just got older, I've kind of grown out of, or I don't really feel those things as much anymore. I think it's a very intimidating Michael, and the way he moves is actually a little bit worse to watch in a way when he's coming after you, because, you know, it's very creepy. At number 3, I've got Halloween 2018. I think James Dew Courtney in Halloween 2018 did an amazing job at just bringing back the shape that we got in the original. James Dew Courtney well and truly brought that back, and in my opinion, as we did see in the later film, Halloween Kills, you know, in terms of the Michael Myers of that film, he managed to add his own twist on it that almost made it a little bit better. It kind of tightened up some of the things that we didn't quite manage to maybe see in Halloween, the original one. But yeah, Halloween 2018, I think it's a great Michael Myers. He's very creepy. Obviously, the mask is very much on point. It's a great mask. And yeah, the movement, everything of Michael in that film is so perfect in my opinion. Which brings us down to our last two, and I'm really struggling with these ones. I think I've got my answer, but to be honest with you, these last two can flicker because I have different reasons for putting them over the other. So I'm kind of pussying out on this one. But right now, I'm going to go with Halloween, the original one. Obviously, the first Michael we see, obviously the first time we ever see Michael Myers, and obviously Nick Castle did an incredible job. That film is the blueprint for Michael Myers, so other films can copy it. That is the shape. The stalking of the film, the movement of the film was so good. The incredible white mask that we got for it is, you know, like you can't beat it, that classic white mask. But for my number one, I'm gonna go with Halloween Kills, and I need you to hear me out, because I understand that the film is not the best, but the Michael Myers that we got in Halloween Kills was a vicious, stone cold killer that didn't have any kind of motive or anything. He just saw you, he killed you, he had fun with it, as we saw. You know, this was the shape, the movement was on point, and, you know, I think this was the film where, even though it wasn't the best film, James Dew Courtney managed to shine the most. I think he was fully in the swing of it, and, you know, he really got what the shape was. He managed to add his own little things and think about how Michael Myers would do things, and I think he did them perfect. So for me, my favorite portrayal of the shape, and the one that I think is, you know, the most scary, so for me, the best Michael is in Halloween Kills. But yeah, let me know what your favorite and least favorite is in the comments down below, and tell me for why, and I will see you guys in the next one.